Memento is odd. Not odd in terms of movie standards, but odd in the ways of film noir. It isn't anywhere near the style and feel of classic noirs like Double Indemnity and Maltese Falcon, nor is it much like Neo Noir films like Basic Instinct or Blood Simple. The film is backwards, chronologically speaking, as if you were suffering a form of amnesia like Leonard in figuring out your memory piece by piece. A revisionist of classic noirs and a revolution of its time to current neo-noirs, Memento takes the ideas and tropes of noir and mashes them together with its own little twist to take you and your brain on one wild ride. It follows some classic noir tropes such as a crime and investigation, a protagonist that is occasionally duped by a form of homme fatale and femme fatale, and even has its own version of narration and its own style of a flashback. From the start, the audience follows Leonard through his life, learning just what exactly happened to him. Each new day, each new time Leonard needs to figure out what is going on becomes an investigation. But the overarching investigation to the film is learning just what happened to him and his wife. The whole story eventually boils down to Leonard learning every day that John G. raped and murdered his wife. This perhaps overcomplicated plotline of investigations within investigations follows the #1 trope of classic noir, investigating a crime and the protagonist's quest to bring justice to those who commit the crime. The twist in Memento is that Leonard is investigating and committing crimes at the same time, making him a sort of anti-hero, a staple of sorts for neo-noir films. Another callback to classic noir is that of the protagonist being duped. Leonard's memory situation makes him susceptible to being used and taken advantage of by others. Like classic noir, the plot becomes convoluted when it's revealed the protagonist makes some sort of blunder, opening up an advantage for the antagonist. This is not the case for Memento. Minus the memory situation, Leonard and Memento are very similar to Body Heat. The whole time the male protagonist isn't doing anything for his own gain, he's doing it for someone else's gain, constantly advancing the storyline seemingly according to the antagonist's plans. In this film, the editing style plays a particularly strong role. Constantly jumping further back in time to each segment of Leonard's life, the camera plays an indirectly first-person perspective. That is, everything is shown through the thoughts and actions of Leonard. In fact, a callback to another classic noir trope emerges because of this: narration. Because of the story being told from Leonard's perspective and his constant short-term memory loss, Leonard often thinks to himself. This thinking is not done out loud, but rather in his mind, like he's talking to himself, narrating to himself. Going back to the protagonist being duped, this is normally done in noir through the use of a homme fatale or femme fatale. In Memento, both Teddy and Natalie are forms of homme fatales and femme fatales, respectively. Unlike classic noir, Teddy is not a typical homme fatale in that he shows no homosexual qualities. Going back to the Maltese Falcon, many directors use typical feminine cologne or perfume to signify a gay character on screen. If anything, all evidence suggests Teddy is a straight male. He's a cop and has been working as one for a long time. What makes him a homme fatale, though, is that he has been using Leonard for some time. Due to Leonard's memory loss, Teddy is stuck with him always wanting to go out and kill Jimmy G, even though he already has. So Teddy, ever the policeman, saw an opportunity to get rid of drug dealers and so turns them into Jimmy G's and has Leonard kill them and then takes the money from their drug deals. These actions eventually get them involved with Natalie, who takes advantage of Leonard and his memory issues in order to get rid of Don for her own reasons. Though her reasons are never clearly revealed, and Natalie actually goes through with her promise to help Leonard, the way she went about it doing so makes her a femme fatale.
Say whatever the fuck I want. And you won't remember. We'll still be best friends. Or maybe even lovers. I'll see you soon.
Stay focused. Find a pen. I'm gonna write this down. I'm gonna write it down. Concentrate, concentrate, concentrate. Keep it in mind, keep it in mind, keep it in mind. Come on, I gotta find a pen, I gotta find a pen. Write this down, write it down. Exactly what happened, I gotta write down exactly what happened. Come on, come on, come on, I gotta find a pen. Jeez, come on. Come on, keep focused, keep focused. Keep it in mind, come on, find a pen. Write this down, write down what happened. Write it down, come on, concentrate, keep it in mind. Find a pen. What happened?
What does it look like? He beat the shit out of me.
Who?
Who? Fuck Leonard. Dodd beat the shit out of me.
Just a bit into the beginning of the film, a completely forward storyline begins. These scenes could be considered flashbacks. These flashbacks occur periodically throughout the film and they are presented in black and white rather than color. This helps to differ between the uncovering of what led to Teddy's death and Leonard's situation that started it all. The flashbacks themselves are like any other noir flashback. They go back in time to an event that started it all. In this case, Leonard's memory problem. These flashbacks are told by Leonard through a phone, a sort of one-sided conversation as we never hear who is on the other end. Through this sort of narration, it's discovered what Leonard's condition is and, from his perspective, how it happened. The difference from classic noir is that this flashback only serves to inform the audience. It does nothing to resolve the problem at hand for Leonard due to his memory loss. It isn't until the final, or beginning, confrontation between Teddy and Leonard that it's learned just how long this has been going on for, how long Leonard has been chasing after his wife's killer. As the confrontation ends and the final piece of the memory is in place, the audience feels a sort of relief at finally knowing the truth, but also a hard kick to the stomach and pity knowing just what happens and how Teddy nor Leonard has any idea of what is about to happen. With several callbacks to classic noir tropes and its own oddly enticing plot, Memento is a neo-noir that will stand the test of time. It brought about the rise of the sympathetic anti-hero while revising the way classic tropes of noir can be used and interpreted. The convoluted plot forces its audiences to think and follow along closely, attaching themselves to a protagonist that is duped thanks to his memory loss. The film revolutionizes homme fatales and femme fatales as well as the use of flashbacks and narration. In the end, Memento sets the bar for future neo-noir films to be different and engaging to audiences everywhere.
Now, where was I?